Yo, 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 YouTube, how goes it? My name is Tom, and this is TJCMN. In this particular segment for you all today, I have another unboxing of, this time, a headset. And I promise there are some solid reviews forthcoming for the previous unboxings that I've done on other products that have been not just headphones, which I have done for the JBL and Peak Endurance 2, but as well as a few other things. There are going to be more unboxings, so don't worry about that, but also follow-up reviews. And I think that finally now that I have a little bit more leisure time after doing a lot of stuff that I can get into another segment. I mean, that's a whole nother can of worms, so to speak. But for the sake of brevity and to not get into too much of a ramble here, I just wanted to just say that as a brief disclaimer to clarify. And now let's dive into the major focus of this video, and that is the unboxing of the KTGEE, that's the name of the brand, according to Amazon, which I purchased it on, the wireless earbuds, which are Bluetooth 5.3 headphones, 40 hours of playtime with charging case, parentheses. I'm actually reading the title of the name of these. They're basically just a knockoff version of the Apple Airpods, but I'll get into that in a moment. But to finish with the title, they are with a charging case, IPX5 waterproof stereo, in-ear headphones with microphone for iPhone, Android, cell phone, sports, workout, white. I mean, the title, I guess that was for metadata, but I mean, the title wasn't something in particular that I would have put up on this listing. But hey, I mean, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. And I guess that considering the sale and the fact that the actual AirPods, which I do plan on getting for my wife in due course, I did get a pink version of these that she already opened up that she's using right now as a temporary, daily driver, but in a little bit, because we do have a few other pairs of headsets, but I tend to try as well as hard to bring out, something like these. So in the case that, we lose them or something happens, it's not the end of the world. I tend to try to keep my more expensive headset, like the Beats and the stuff I use for my studio when I'm at home, doing the type of stuff on the internet. I try to keep those at home. And I do use my JBL when I do work out because they're for working out, but for the most part, these are more compact and basically a knockoff of the AirPods. But in contrast to the actual Apple AirPods, which are probably a little bit more comfortable, but can cost anywhere upwards of $100. I think the third gen, which is the current one at the time of recording this, which is in April of 2024, the middle of which, those are actually, the MSRP is about $180 according to the Apple website, and that can be a doozy. So, I mean, as a substitute and something that's sort of a stopgap in between, I think these can be something that are relatively solid. But I will have a review in the future, so you won't have to just take my word, and I will give you my relatively, as much as it can be, objective analysis and review. Obviously, that will be, in accordance to my own personal preference, and I always try to put myself in the shoes of viewers such as yourselves, and also someone who would be using these on a routine basis. But just to keep that all in mind, I originally got these a few weeks ago when they were actually on sale for even more at $19.54 US after tax. But right now at the moment, according to Amazon, and if you're interested, you might want to pick them up in case they raise the price, they're still on sale for 71% off, currently at $22.99 US. And the original listing is at $79.99, but these gave me the vibe that they're probably something that are always not, they're on sale on Amazon as a way to try to get people to purchase them. And listen, I'm coming in with this with no unrealistic expectations. They're not like, Beats or Sennheiser or one of these more, JBL even. But hey, listen, I think that as someone who, when we're traveling and stuff, needs to be able to have something that can just, you can tune into. And maybe I'll be surprised, who knows? But I do think that these can be something that, at least for the price, could be, giving you a good bang for your buck, so to speak. But anyways, now let me dive into it. And if you want to check out the actual product listing on Amazon, that will be, of course, linked below. And yeah, so let's dive in, and I'll have the tech specs, which I typically read off, but for the sake of brevity, again, I'll have them in the description below along with the listing. So let's dive into the unboxing now before I bore you all, because we're almost at the 5-minute mark. So let's get to this. And I'll probably put a timestamp in the description just so you guys can and gals can skip the introduction if you don't want to hear me go off on a ramble. Here. This is the outer casing. I think there's another box. It's like box Inception. There's a box inside a box here, but this is how it was left at the mail area. So got this. Thankfully I didn't cut myself, because that would have been embarrassing. Here, and I just want to really quick make sure that I'm not showing you all anything. Okay, I want to make sure there was no receipt with an address on it, but you got the cushion, so when it's shipped and handled, it doesn't, get damaged. So that's it for this box. And then you have the case for the headset, the box, or the main box actually, of the product, not the Amazon shipping box that it comes within. So it's made in China, like a lot of things. And here you have just to get a look at the outer casing. Just to give you all a view of what we have here. And already I just made a brief transition, and apologies in advance. I have a couple of cats that are making a little bit of noise, especially the Siamese we have named Salt. So apologies in advance. Hopefully they're not too loud, and I'll have to definitely contend with them in a little bit. Probably give them a little bit of catnip and a treat. But here, let's get into this, the main part of this segment, which is the actual unboxing of the product, before we get too much into the weeds, which I think we already have, but you know what I mean. So here, we got this part, the wrapping off, and then you take this off the top, and put this wrapping to the side, and then you have this True Wireless Earbuds, and then this is where you, I guess you open it right over here. Okay, yeah. All right, and then you have the instruction manual, but I mean, like any Bluetooth headset, it's pretty self-explanatory. We're geeks, so we don't really need all this, but it's good to, obviously keep it included just in case. If someone's a beginner and just starting off trying to set up all this stuff, you don't want to have some sort of a boomer tech moment, in lack of a better term. And to not knock on the boomers. I mean, my parents are baby boomers, and a lot of people can rag on them nowadays, but they're not. There's a lot of good ones, especially like my folks. But not to be too sidetracked here. I know that generation in particular is not the one that's usually most known for their technological literacy, at least when it comes to modern equipment such as Bluetooth headsets and things of that kind. But listen, there's obviously people of that generation that are. You don't want to stereotype too much or overgeneralize, but I think you get my point. Here's the case, and then this is it shows you the percentage of which it's charged at, which is good. And it not only does it allow you to have like something you can use to put it in your pocket to carry it with, but also not only that, it acts as a charger as well, just like the actual Apple Airpods. That's something, and my JBL Peak Endurance 2, which again I mentioned, there's a review forthcoming of those. As I already posted the unboxing, if you want to check it out, the link will be below, and it's also on my channel in general. I like the fact that the cases actually allow you to charge it, which is pretty cool. As someone who still can remember back when they didn't even have the AirPods or any sort of Bluetooth headset, and all the headsets were wired, or headphones, and I can even remember the MP3 players, and I grew up just after the Walkman were, very prolific. I'm not that old, but I'm still a younger millennial, so it is pretty cool to have these. The only downside is you can lose the earbuds sometimes. I've done that, so has my wife, and I'm sure you all have had someone, if not yourself, that have had a situation like that. That's why whenever you're done using them, I've always told her, and as well, I try to keep in mind myself after I lost my JBL headset one time, to always, when you're done, put them back in the case. So not only are they always going to be available to be charged, but then you don't have to worry about losing them. So here, these are the AirPods, or the headset themselves in all of their glory. They are very small and they fit right in your ears. They're supposed to be, I think, relatively one size fits all, but who knows? Some people might have different kinds of ears. I think my wife said that the cushions, unlike the AirPods and other headsets she's used that are wireless, these don't have cushions on them. So, I mean, that might be a comfort, might be a considerable factor. I'll have to get into that in the review, but just wanted to note that right now. I mean, these are relatively speaking a, sort of second-rate pair of headset, but for the price, I mean, exactly, for less than $20, I mean, I'm sure they'll still be relatively decent for that price. I mean, you can't go wrong when you're that cheap, especially when you consider that the actual AirPods and other equivalents, such as the Beats or Sennheiser versions, can cost you hundreds of dollars. You get what you pay for, but at the same time, if you're someone like us right now and are, living at the moment, we just relocated from Tampa to New York and sometimes travel to Boston, so it can get kind of pricey up here in the Northeast of the United States. So at the moment, I think when you're on a budget like we are at the moment, and not trying to get the latest and greatest at the moment, in the future maybe, but when it comes to electronics, this could be, again, as I mentioned, a solid stopgap. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this unboxing and got a decent look at them. And then obviously in the rest of this box, I mean, that's the main part of the thing. You've got, again, the operation guide at the bottom, on top of the user manual. And then you have, I think it's USB-C if I'm not mistaken. Let me look at it. Yeah, this is USB-C, which the upcoming iPhones, ever since that situation with the EU, I think the future iPhone is going to be USB-C as well, like many of the new Android phones. And that could be a very interesting segment in and of itself, but yes, this is USB-C, and it would fit like this. But yeah, that pretty much does it for this unboxing. I hope you all enjoyed it, and if you have, please make sure to give a thumbs up, comment below, and let me know, again, what you think. The links to the product will be in the description along with other resources there too, and hopefully, again, you may have found this useful. My review of this will be forthcoming, and in the meantime, I hope you all have a great start to the spring season, especially if you're up in the Northeast like I am, but just in general, no matter where you are in the world. My name is Tom again for TJCMN. Make sure to stay safe, and I'll catch you all in the next one I make real soon. Peace out.